Hi. After watching that English dude, is it that English dude? Yeah. After watching that English dude's Resident Evil 5 rant, I didn't think that he was very fair or didn't realise some things. Now, before I start this, I just want to say this is not in spite or this is not to piss off that English dude, because I've known him for a good while, and not personally but through forums and shit, and I've known him and respect him. He's a great moderator, and I just thought that for the sake of a bit of fun, why not do a bit of a debate. Right, I'm going to do this pretty quickly. I don't want it to drag on. Number one, he says no sunlight illusions. It was actually Capcom was talking about putting in sunlight illusions, and you didn't know what was real, due with the sun's heat. My answer to that is it simply wouldn't work in co-op. The game started as a single player. In co-op, it wouldn't work. Number two, you were seeing that the boat part, where we have to collect items and all, is a lot like Resi 4's Del Lago boss fight. Hell no, man. Huge environment, slick co-op features like someone can shoot while someone has to drive it. It's one huge puzzle. It's one huge puzzle. New enemy, a tribe that was used as test subjects by what I think Tricell and Umbrella, whatever, and now they're infected. It's mixed up with things like the big crocs, which, believe me, fucking I've seen it to people shit their pants. There's hidden areas like the sunken boat, and then there's on water action. Someone has to shoot while someone has to make sure to drive properly. Right, next one. Sorry, I have this wrote down and my handwriting is pretty shit because I've typed for so long. What did you expect an old ruin to look like? You see, it looks like Krauser's part, but it's an old fucking ruin. And once again, it's one huge puzzle. I think there's like 3 puzzles, so it's all mixing it up, man. The Lantern AI, all I have to say is yes, the AI for Sheva does the job when it comes to healing you when you need it and reviving you, but yeah, she can be pretty bad. But all I have to say in regard to that is this game is a human co-op experience, and that's all I have to say is this game should be played with a human player, and it was designed like that. It's all over the place, like saying play this with your friends. That's what it was supposed to be. What else do we have? Well, I'll also add to that of course they needed a single player, because like it just wouldn't really seem right without a single player, I suppose. Another thing about the AI with Sheva is that it's so deep and difficult. There's a difference between AI, you said crisis, there's a difference between AI of someone attacking you and someone who has to do item sharing and all. Like, that is a completely different ball game, a lot more difficult, which you would know. You said about the Ouroboros Sheva AI. I don't know. Yeah, I went over. I was on the PlayStation 3 version. I pressed circle, told the bitch to fucking pull the lever, went in. I had absolutely no problems. It was painless. It was very short. It was a bit disappointing. It was a cool co-op feature, that there, fairness, but yeah, it was too short, too easy. The 2 minigun guys, yes. So they're just like Resident Evil 4's guys. I'm not sure if this is the part you're on about, but I think it is. But yeah, I almost puked at some parts where they were so similar to Ori 4. You said about it's really hard. How about using the provided turret on the platform? How about telling her to come up the ladder to you so she can shoot boys off the ladder? Easy. Hotkeys from Dead Space. This isn't really relevant to the rant, but I just had to say that games have done that before, man. Before Dead Space, for example, I think Gears of War 1 did it, and even before that. The last yes, or before that you were on about the Wesker fight. You were on about you've wanted to fight Wesker for all these years. So like so was any Resi fan. What the fuck did you expect Chris to do? Did you expect him to fucking go full in? Chris has got his ass kicked by Wesker. He's kind of smartening up. You don't go straight to attacking because Wesker's just too strong. You run exactly what it does in the game. You run and you strategize. So, no harm. I think you got it completely off the marks. And you said about Revolver Ocelot. Revolver Ocelot is a fantastic soldier. In Metal Gear Solid 4, for example, great. He's still like great with a gun, obviously, whatever, and brilliant with CQC. But Wesker's a fucking like superhuman fucker. You don't go hands on him. Even earlier in Resident Evil 5, it showed how Jill was supposedly killed. And look what Wesker did to him, you know. He's kind of... Chris is wisening up now. He knows to run away and strategize, which is exactly what you do. Now, I'm going to straight go on to the last fight. I'll never mind the missile dodging one because, yeah, you know, it was a little funny, but whatever. The last boss fight, I thought was pretty good. It tests the co-op player's ability. First of all, to act quick and to shoot. Chev is up in the rocks. Wesker's coming after Chris. You as Chev have to shoot Wesker in the back, which is easy as fuck. I did it on Veteran. It was easy as fuck. Then he comes after Sheva. Now it's Chris's turn. Chev is about to fall, and you have to be so quick firing as Chris. I've died plenty of times with the guy I played Veteran on, that, trust me. As Sheva, you're tapping away at square. Your hand nearly falling off to climb back up. As Chris, you have to go over, and Chris is, yeah, I know you might think it's a little overboard, Chris being able to move a rock, but not only does Chris, as you've noticed, Chris is built like a fucking tank. Not only is it possible for someone of Chris's size to knock over something like that, bodybuilders can pull trucks, and look at the size of fucking Chris. But he gives the rock an awful fucking beating before it budges. Then after that, you have to do another bit of co-op. So I think Capcom I think they did a good job with the co-op part in that fight. You say Resident Evil 5 dragged on. Resident Evil 4 dragged on, man. Even the developers fucking themselves thought that it dragged on, and it did. There was just chapters in there for the sake of gameplay. And hey, you know, I'm not complaining, you know, because it still kept up the quality. But I think Resident Evil 5 had a nice pace, and I think it didn't go off track that much. And besides, it all comes back to co-op. You can't have such a huge long game when it's co-op. When it's divided into play sessions, as Resident Evil 5's online part did it. Now, you're the last person I would have expected to see about in Resident Evil about aiming. You're not able to walk while aiming. Yeah, Dead Space can do it. Dead Space, fantastic game. Like I haven't played it, but my cousin and everyone said it's fantastic. But I do still see where Capcom are coming from, where you can only stop and shoot. First of all, I don't mind what anyone says in the comments, whoever. It is far more realistic to stand and shoot. That's the way that people are trained. They're not trained to fucking like eat. They're not even trained to walk and shoot the same.